Right, so the best way to get your fireplace set up for lighting and use is we use this, it's not just ours, but like the Jenga method, if you like. So if you stack the logs, a couple of larger ones on the bottom, a couple of smaller ones then at 90 degrees across them, and then pile up with a bit of kindling and fire lighters sat on the top. Okay, that will give you a nice good top-down lighting method. So once you ignite this, it will warm the cold air that's in the chimney, that's in the flue, and it will gradually get that out of the way and get the whole system working as it burns down through the logs, and it gives a very effective way of lighting that gradually. If you do it the other way around, the heat at the bottom, the flames have got to burn through these logs, it generates a lot of smoke and it's very inefficient and it's not the best way of doing it. This is. So get that set up first of all, and then in terms of this fireplace, the EVA, or any of the Bordelets and most of the Focus, set the damper in the fireplace into its open position. Okay, on this, the open is the handle following the line of the flue. It also has a 45-degree position, and it also has damper closed. But for ignition, we want to be there. All right, so that's getting the maximum draw up inside the flue. And if we just come around to the control setting on the fireplace, they're in different places depending on model, but there's a slider control here, which has a minimum and a maximum. Okay. So again, for ignition, we want to be maximum. We've got plus on that side, minus on there. We want to be in the plus setting. Right, so now we're ready to go. We're all set up. Damper open, top-down lighting set for the fuel. Size of logs is important also. This is very, very dry logs. Okay, definitely less than 20% moisture content. They're a hardwood, I think these are beech. That's a great log size. Okay, so we've got about 30 centimeters across, and the section is around about 10 centimeters, I'd say. That's perfect. All right. If you put great big lumps of oak on, they work more like a breeze block. You know, they'll smolder rather than burn. All right. So nice, good hardwood like this: ash, beech, hornbeam, cherry, whatever you get, but that's the kind of size that we want to be using inside the fireplace. So now when you're ready to go, just light the fire lighters on the top. Okay, you can see that's quite agitated, so that tells me that there's a good draw through there because we've got that set up. It's open with plenty of air coming through the system. The door open, so we'll then just shut that too, and we'll just leave it ajar. All right. Yep. So we're probably about 10 minutes in now, and we can see we've got plenty of heat inside the fire chamber. That's nice and hot. The smoke off the wood is heading up inside the flue system. So that's nice. That's ready to be used and enjoyed. So what you can do now, depending on your setup, each one is different, but you could try and slow the draw down now a little bit. On the damper, I would suggest maybe let's drop it at 45 degrees. Okay, which will just regulate that a little bit. You might want to set this control around here and slow that down, I don't know, maybe to halfway. Okay, and things will start to slow down and the burn will become a little bit more gradual. And of course you can then start to add logs into the chamber, and you'll find your own way, you know. And if any of these things you find that it's maybe racing a little bit and you want to slow it down, then you can use the damper up there and put it to the closed position or the 90-degree position, or you can regulate here and slow it down to minimum. Put more fuel on if you want more heat, and then just let it burn with 1 or 2 logs for a little bit of background heat. And it's definitely a case of finding the balance. Every installation is different, so you'll find the way that works for you and delivers the heat that you find comfortable. Essentially, it's very, very simple. Once the system is hot, okay, and the flue's working, the more fuel you put in, the hotter it will be, okay, and the less fuel you put in, the more ambient sort of background heat it will be, but you'll find your way. So that's now burning pretty much at its optimum. What it is, half an hour, 40 minutes since we lit it. There's a real nice bed of embers at the bottom, so that's the first 3 or 4 logs have died down. They're keeping the heat in the middle of the fireplace, which is great. We've refueled another couple of logs over the top, so I would say 1, 2, it's probably 6 there in total. That's giving a lovely, nice, gentle flame, loads of heat. It's melting in here now. But that's the kind of arrangement we're looking for. Those embers, that spread of embers on the bottom is crucial to getting a real hot core in the fire and a nice, clean, crisp burn. Just on this, I've got the damper setting up on the top here. I've got that in its flat, so just to slow it all down a little bit, which is quite good. And on the air control on the other side, I've got that to about 1/3 open, and that gives us a nice everything, nice heat, and looks great.